My mom actually advised me to go get a perm, and that's how I got my first curly hair. First I got a haircut, so my hair was up until here, I think, black. And the perm made it much shorter because the curls bring your hair up, and that made me feel weird. What made me feel nice is after a few months of growing it, the roots were straight a little bit and then the rest were curly. So why I liked it was because it balanced my face out. I have a long face. The fact that the curls made it more proportionally equal helped me a lot, helped it widen my face, and I think it looked much better since I got rid of an insecurity that I had. I've had it for 3 years. A perm lasts like six months, and I kept getting inked after 6 and 6 and 6 months. Over the time I got used to it. I knew how to stylize it. I knew how the perfect length for it. Over the course of having this curly hair, I learned how to manage it. I used proper conditioner for curly hair, proper shampoo. I let it dry while they were in perfect curls after washing it. I think that was the me that I liked the most. From long straight hair to like curly hair, medium length, boosted my self-esteem a lot. Everybody said that it looks great on me. I agree. It was something that I wished I had since 10th grade. Now that I finally had it, I just enjoyed every second of it, but I still got bored. I cut it back short. When I saw myself back again with short hair, black, it feels like I traveled in time back to 4 years ago when I was still a nerd and I didn't know much and I didn't consider myself pretty, and it hit my self-esteem a lot because it felt like I lost all that progress. But in my head, I did it because I was like, okay, before then I was inexperienced with short hair. Now I'm experienced and I know how to stylize it, so let's try to go back in time by cutting my hair and try and stylize it with all the knowledge that I have now. It didn't work out that well. I didn't like that I returned to the me from 4 years ago and I wanted to change. I wanted to be a new me again. So that's when bleaching came into my mind. I did not know anything. I asked a friend to help me out. I trusted her, so I didn't have to go to the salon. I looked at hair salons, the prices for men and dyeing the hair and whatever. Expensive. So I was lucky. That friend told me to buy a certain kind of bleach. I didn't listen. The first bleaching was kind of meh, so it ended up with my hair looking very yellow and I didn't like it. I waited 1 week. I had very yellow hair and I still had to go to university and all of that, and everybody was, wow, who's this? You look so different. What's that yellow hair? I did get the feeling that it was a new me. It wasn't what I expected, and I was awaiting the time that I would get the second bleach, and it finally happened. I got the second bleach. My hair turned bright yellow this time. It wasn't the type of blonde that I wanted. Fortunately, I had silver dye. It didn't end up being yellow anymore. The color balanced it out. It wasn't necessarily silver at all. It was more like ivory color, so it neutralized the yellow and it looked exactly how I wanted. It looked exactly how I wanted it, and I felt like I never rocked short hair before at all, but with this new look, I felt so confident. I finally felt like short hair looks good on me. So I kept it, and then over time the color washed away, ended up being a normal blonde. The normal blonde was cool. I didn't have any problems with that. Blonde hair, that requires new products. Before I used just normal shampoo, Head and Shoulders or whatever, and conditioner to keep my curls in touch or clear. Now with blonde hair, I require to use purple shampoo just to keep the blonde so it wouldn't turn yellow. That's the thing. I used 2 conditioners, not at the same time. And now having the hair blonde and short, it meant that I didn't have to blow dry it anymore. It dried very fast, 20 minutes I think. It was all in all much more manageable. And then people kept asking me, oh, when are you gonna bleach it again? When are you gonna get the roots done again? I felt like my face was long again, which was an insecurity I had in the past. I'm just gonna let the roots grow out, even though they'll be black or dark brown. At the beginning it did look very weird because it had this transition between them that was so direct. So it was black and then straight blonde. There was no gradient and it felt weird. I didn't quite like it that much. And then over time it sort of faded. I tried new looks and it looked good. And I think that was the period where I liked it the most, where I had half black and half blonde on top. And I could brush it, it would intermingle, the colors would intermingle with each other and it looked very nice. Me going blonde was out of nowhere. But me cutting my hair short had a meaning to it. I cut my hair short just to prove to myself that I'm a new person. Even if I return to my original hair, which I associated with a bad me, with low self-confidence, fear, I didn't like it, but now I'm a new person. So I wanted to prove to myself that even if I returned to the past, to how I looked in the past, I would still be myself and my new self. That's why I went blonde, just to be, let's say, in search of another me. I consider these sort of stages of my life or chapters whenever I change my look this drastically, because I had long or medium hair before. Now it's short. It was curly. Now it's back straight naturally. It was black. Then when I bleached it, it was blonde, so everything changed, and it was such a drastic change. When I looked in the mirror, I didn't recognize myself. That's why it sort of felt like a new chapter with me, that I can start working on myself again, earn new achievements, all of that. I'm really curious how I will feel when I return back to my curls. Now I'm blue. So how did that happen? Obviously, for me, when I did it for the first time, it felt wild. Why did I do it? Some friends encouraged me to try other hair colors. I didn't really want to, but I also didn't want to lose on this experience, so I did it. I chose blue. It was a mistake because I don't like it. I feel out of place. Me as a person, I like to blend in with others. Now that I have blue hair, I stand out from everyone. When I saw myself in the mirror, I knew it was a bad idea, but I had to keep with it. It's semi-permanent, this one, so it'll go away in 10 or so washes. I kind of want it to go away now. All the other me's in the past, it still felt like myself, but other versions. This one, I'm a stranger. Blue hair, I think, is too rebellious for me. I stand out from other people. Since I dyed my hair, I looked around. The only person with blue hair like me was just one random girl. I didn't want to feel different. I don't want to stand out. So I'm gonna dye my hair back to my natural color. The end of my color adventure. Let's see how it goes. Black now, back to normal. It doesn't feel like I traveled back 3 years in time. It certainly feels like I'm a new person now again. Maybe it's because it's more black than my natural color. I think it's just my brain playing with me, changing from blonde or blue suddenly to a dark color. Just get the perception that it's darker than it was before, because I just didn't see my natural hair color for so long. 5 months, I think. Oh, half a year. Wow. It certainly felt longer than that. I'm very happy that I got rid of the blue. The black suits me more. Changing from all these looks, certainly come to accept how I looked in the past. My parents were happy because I'm finally back. My housemates kept looking at me and they started laughing a little bit. I don't think they laughed because it was funny or because I looked funny. It was just a huge surprise to them that I looked different again. Black is my favorite out of the blonde and blue.